What's happening? What is happening? Oh my goodness. What a good looking crowd. Wow. I have not seen this many people since 2019. It's been a long time. Loved hugging you guys. Tonight, you guys are all here because you are hand selected. You are the industry leaders, the visionaries, the people who have bought, sold, and built Toronto and GTA over the past few decades. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the TIFF Lightbox building in downtown Toronto. My name is Jason Garland, and I'm so humbled and blessed that you have taken the time out of your busy schedules. Spend time with us and celebrate something we've been working on for over 2 years. I know many of you, but for those of you who don't know me, I've been doing this for over 20 years. I've worked closely with people like Winston, who's in the room, lots of developers, prime brokerages. But these last few years, I spent my time and dedicated my energy to helping agents, helping brokers fulfill their real estate goals and propel them into the future. I'd like to take a minute right now and just recognize everybody that's watching around the world, streaming online, different countries, different time zones. My parents didn't even make it here tonight. Hey, Mom. Dad. Hope you're enjoying the popcorn tonight. So if you're just in another country, in another time zone, and you're just waking up to your first cup of coffee, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time you wake up. And thank you for spending the time with us tonight. We have an incredible night ahead of us, some extraordinary guests that have helped shape our industry and share our vision of the future. This is a magical night for us at NTRY, as we have been working tirelessly around the clock for over 2 years, creating the first of its kind real estate metaverse. What you're about to see can't be unseen. So let's take a moment, glance at your watch, take out your phones, take a picture of me. Maybe this side. No, you like the other one? And mark this day as the day our industry changed forever, made all of our lives just a little bit easier. Now, while you got your phones out, just switch them to silent for me, just for a little housekeeping. Yeah, I'd really appreciate that, especially the next few guys. Now, what is NTRY? People have been asking me for months. They stop me on the street. They're like, what is this NTRY thing, Jason? What are you doing? NTRY started as a vision, a collaboration between incredible developers like Pamela Van Treska. Where's Pam? First-class star realtors like Julian Pucci. Where are you, Jules? And technical savants, forward-thinking futurists like James Borst. Give him a round. They wanted to bridge the gap between realtors and developers and help streamline the sales process and bring a world-class experience to our consumers. And from that conversation spawned NTRY. I got some water up here. I need some water. Who's got some water down there? I'm just kidding. NTRY. It's a global, 3D, hyper-realistic metaverse. Oh, look at this. Look at this. And it's partially opened. I love it. Thank you. Just bear with me for a second. It wasn't open. All right, I'm going to put this right up here. Stay there. Stay there. NTRY is a global 3D hyper-realistic metaverse to showcase, market, and sell properties on a one-to-one scale down to the millimeter. We are the perfect tool on your sales tool belt to help do more deals, to make the sales process easier by creating an environment with a goal, a global reach in a visual language that we can all understand. By using the most powerful gaming engine in the world with Unreal Engine, we are able to create ultra-high resolution 4K photorealistic communities and environments. Imagine being able to walk up to a building, through the lobby, into the elevator, up the elevator, get out on the 28th floor, 32nd floor, wherever you bought. Open the door to a brand new suite. Go through the foyer, walk by the Scavellini kitchen, soapstone countertops, 10-foot ceilings right up to the terrace. Look out on the view, northeast corner, right out the Bay Street corridor. A view that'd take your breath away, but that building isn't done for 4 years. Imagine the impact that would have on a buyer. Over the past 7 years, Toronto has become the pre-construction mecca of North America with over 200 cranes in the air, I think they're in the room, but I won't say who it is. He got up in the morning, this was like 3 weeks ago. Got up in the morning, had a coffee, drove an hour and a half north to Aurelia for his first set of showings. Saw 3 cottages. 2 on the water, 1 not. Had to be done by noon because he had to be in Hamilton at a builder sales office to meet a new pre-construction client. Oh, wow, that's a long drive. That's a lot of driving. The whole time he's trying to prep for a listing in London, Ontario the next morning. What? I'm like, Tim. No, sorry, wasn't going to say that. What are you doing, man? Imagine if you could do that from one place, on your couch, in your underwear, in your spot in North York. Prices, competition, and population growth in this particular city, and many around our nation, have driven buyers and builders to the periphery markets. I remember a time I wouldn't drive to Mississauga for a showing. Times have changed. The times have changed. When I started in real estate over 20 years ago, there was about 20,000 realtors chasing 60,000 transactions. I feel like there's 20,000 in here right now. Now there's triple the agents and not even double the amount of transactions. How do you set yourself apart? How do you go from being a good agent to a great agent? You all know the answers. You guys are the leaders in here. It takes discipline, systems, processes, and tools to be more efficient, more consistent, and modernize your business. Now, taking the modern approach doesn't mean throwing all the crap out the window that's worked for decades. That doesn't change it. But rather using impactful tools and tactics. That was a tough word without water. To provide a full service, streamlined, world-class experience for your clients. And NTRY is that tool. Being a modern developer backed by modern agents with sophisticated buyers and sellers is no longer just a vision of the future. It's the reality of here and now. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to bring up a buddy of mine that I've met a little while ago. Super, super nice guy. He's also our co-founder, our CEO, and my friend, Mr. James Boris. Give it up.
My mic is not on. There we go. How's everybody doing tonight? So listen, I got told 24 hours ago that I had to get up here and say a few words about the technology. So, awesome. So what you're about to see tonight, right, I want you guys to all keep in mind, it's going to be awesome graphics. And I hope everybody's blown away. I hope nobody can speak just for the next few minutes after seeing this. But I want you to keep a few things in mind. What you're seeing on the screen is not just a rendering. It's not just a picture. It's not just a video fly-through. It's a one-to-one scale, interactive environment that streams in the cloud. Okay, that's a lot of words. So what does that mean? It means that you can access this metaverse online right through a website. No download needed. Load it up within 30 seconds, and it's a complete mirror of the entire Golden Horseshoe. So as Jason was saying earlier, right from your home, right from your vacation in Miami or Cancun, wherever you're at in the world, you can do your showings. You can wow people with all the new developments coming out. You can maximize your time, right, in your life, because that's what's important, right? That's why we built this technology. This technology was not absent of developers, of real estate agents. This technology was built by real estate agents for real estate agents, built by developers for developers, right? So in short words, it was built by the industry for the industry. We collaborated with the greatest minds, and many of you are here tonight. This would not be possible without you. So just keep in mind, this is a big change, and all of you guys are part of this. And to the 200,000 plus people streaming tonight in over 30 different countries around the world, we're excited to see you here tonight. We're excited to come meet with you, and we're looking forward for you guys to take a journey with us into the metaverse. So without further ado, sit back and enjoy the video, and let's have some fun.
right. Ho, 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 ho. Are you ready? A little teaser at the end there. I didn't see that one coming. Just kidding. I saw it coming. All right. I'm going to bring up another guest speaker here. This guy I met just a couple of weeks ago, almost 2 months ago. I walked in, I was like, whew. It's like looking in the mirror, this guy. At a fun house. That's right. That's right. We had the same suit on. No, he didn't have a suit on. He's casual. This guy is amazing. This guy's a real estate broker, CEO and founder of Serhant, vertically integrated mega brokerage comprising of in-house film studio, education arm, marketing division, technology platform, a true modern agent. Ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for Ryan Serhant.
What's up?
Yes, thanks, buddy.
Thanks, man. What's going on? Oh my God, it's so hot back there. And that video and the music, it was insane. And I was waiting for Drake to pop out of the screen, but you got me instead, so I'm sorry. It's okay. You see him every day, right? He's here. Yeah? Is he in the audience? No? Go Blue Jays! I was told to say that, otherwise I'd be hurt. Yeah. That, first of all, what's up? I'm Ryan Serhant. How are you? Thank you for bringing me here. Thank you to the NTRY team. This is amazing. That video was the craziest thing I've ever seen. Also, I'm a little OCD, so I'm going to take your little water here down on top of this beautiful sign, and I'm going to give it right back to you. All right? I'm not going to touch it. Yeah, okay. You hold on to that, buddy. It's going to be great. People are taking photos and everything. Going to, wipe it off, make sure everything's okay. I mean, was that not the craziest thing you've ever seen? I mean, I think I am pretty tech forward, right? Everything I've ever done in my career in New York City as I work to sell real estate, I always try to stay 10 steps ahead of the game. But I watch that and I'm back there thinking all right, I got a 21-year-old with a video camera to help me sell real estate, and these guys built fucking Grand Theft Auto, right? You guys built a video game. There's little cars in there. Why would I ever put a suit on ever again? It's insane. Completely insane. In all seriousness, I feel like we're kind of at the beginning of the internet, right? You've heard these stories about Mark Andreessen and Netscape and the first email ever sent and the people that were in those rooms and they were seeing the web browser for the first time and everyone was like, meh, well, what is that going to do, right? And now you look at where we are, and it's crazy. Technological advance happens so fast now. New things get invented every single minute. It's nuts. And for us in our business, what is the slowest business to adjust to technology in the history of the known universe? It's real estate. How much has really changed about a house? Maybe you put solar panels on roofs. Maybe. People still like their electricity. I know people who still don't turn off their faucet when brushing their teeth. I know some of you in this room, I swear to you, probably don't do that. It's what else do we do? We still go to a house. We walk inside it. We say, this is a kitchen. Let me show you to the second floor. We're like, dude, I just crushed that showing. I'm doing this differently. Crazy. Even on video. Right? Video is a new thing. We're selling through video. We're selling through vertical video. We're selling on TikTok, right? We get clients through TikTok. This thing got invented last year. But what do we really do? Now we're just on vertical video saying, we do a little dance thing, and now this is the kitchen. Let me take you to the second floor. But not a whole lot has actually changed. It's just crazy to me. And I don't know if any of you know my story, but I never actually wanted to be a real estate broker. And I'm sorry to say that if I'm going to crush a lot of your dreams, because I know there's a lot of real estate agents in here, but I moved to New York City to do theater. The worst possible thing in my mind that could ever happen to my life was that I would have to settle for becoming a licensed associate real estate salesperson. Like that, honestly, to me, 15 years ago was like, man, you should just quit life. It's over, right? Because what did being a real estate agent really mean 15 years ago? It was a second career, right? It was after the kids grow up, okay, let me get my license. You know, it was like a mix. It was an older crowd. It was just sort of like, this is not what people do when they graduate high school or graduate college. It wasn't exciting. And I got into it because I just totally ran out of money. My first day in the real estate business was the day Lehman Brothers filed for bankruptcy, kicked off the Great Recession. I didn't have a suit, not this one. I had khaki pants, cowboy boots, collared shirt, and I was sitting there watching CNBC in New York City on 49th Street above a burger restaurant, watching everyone quit around me. And in hindsight, the best part for me was I had no money. So when markets crash and you don't have money, you're just like, what's up? What's up? Welcome to my world, right? You all want ramen? You can't get it because I already bought it all. Okay? I got the noodles. Exactly. And I had to learn in a really, really tough market. But what that taught me more than anything was that forever, since the dawn of the universe, things change. Markets change. The world changes. And people adapt. And if you don't adapt, you die. That's just it, right? Like, you see that with every single business over and over and over. But real estate has never caught up to it. You know that New York City still doesn't have an MLS? I know. It's crazy. Like, when I first got into the business, we were still posting photos on every different website possible to try to get leads. Like, things were still in newspapers. I was still doing New York Times ads and saving up money to be able to put them in there. Now, it wasn't like, I'm not talking about like the 70s or the 80s. I'm talking about 2008, 9, and 10. My first clients came through fake listings that I would post, right? People ask me all the time how I got into the business. Oh, you must be born in New York. Oh, you must have been born on the TV show. I'm like, no. I took listings that were other people. I didn't ask permission. I cut the photos out on Microsoft Paint. Okay? I put them up on like Craigslist and other websites because I didn't want to be a broker. I was just like, I got to make money, right? And in this business, man, oh man, is the barrier of entry really, really, really low. So if I could do it, and I was just making money the other day by showing my hands off because I was hand modeling for a while. That's how I made the most money. You can Google it. It's a real story. Someone laughed. You should do it. You should Google Ryan Serhant hand model. It's really, really weird, right? I would meet people on websites, and they would say, is that apartment still available? And I would say, yes. And I would meet them on a corner. And then when I would get there, I'd be like, oh, I forgot those keys. But right across the street, I can take you to something. And as long as they didn't hit me in the face, I was good to go. And if I could get to know them, like that's the market that I knew. And the biggest difference between then and now, okay, as we think about it as agents, as real estate developers, as salespeople, right, as part of the real estate business, is the difference between information and access. Because then it was about having information. The biggest brokers were the ones that had the information. Who has the off markets? Okay? Who knows when the next development is coming up? Who knows what the city is going to do with that plot right over there, who they're going to sell it to, or what the city plan is? Who has all the information? Who knows the most people? And that's still important today, but it's becoming less and less and less important because now it's about who has the access. Who can get into different places? The information is everywhere. Every single one of you right now has a phone in your hand. Your information is right there. You're not waiting for things in faxes or newspapers. You have it all at the palm of your hands, and so do your clients. Like, I knew early on that things were changing when my clients started coming to showings with me, like in 2012 and 13, and they'd walk in with their phone out, okay, because the iPhone had kind of then started to really be everywhere, and they would have like comps and the listing on their phone. And before looking up and seeing the home, they were looking here to make sure that what was on the phone matched what they were seeing. That was a huge, huge changing point, okay? Now people don't have to do that all the time because now they do it when they're in their Uber, right? Uber changed everything. And technology has changed so much, and that's why I'm so excited about this. You know what's crazy to think about? Before we know it, all of us have AirPods, right? AirPods, earbuds. Before we know it, you're going to also be able to talk to international clients.
And you're not going to have to know Italian, because when they're speaking Italian to you, your AirPods, your earbuds are going to translate for you so you can hear in your language. Isn't that insane? It's kind of messed up, because who would then ever try to learn a foreign language, right? Because we all want everything to be easy for the rest of time, but also maybe it makes things great, right? It removes a lot of conflict, especially global conflict. It removes conflict for us too. You know how many times I try to sell things to Chinese buyers and French buyers, and there's maybe French people here, right? And I don't speak any other language, right? I'm just a regular, ordinary American boy. And I know English, and that's it. And those people don't often work with me. They want to work with someone that speaks their language, and then we try to bridge that gap, and that's going to change. And so much is changing. It is completely insane. And in 2008, we saw markets shift, and we all had to adapt. And every single person in this room, if you were in the market back then, you adapted, and you're still here, and you're thriving. And if you got in the market after that, you went through a change 2 years ago. Like, I knew we were in the midst of the second biggest change for real estate when we put this townhouse on the market on 17th Street in Chelsea for $18 million at the end of 2019, okay? And we were showing it, and it was kind of hard. It had this cool garage. It was 11,000 square feet, really, really crazy house. And then COVID shut down everything. We couldn't show. New York took it really, really, really seriously. It was really, really tough, right? You couldn't go outside. There was police everywhere. Then we had riots. It's like, how am I going to show this house? How do I sell a house if I can't show it? Look, what do I do? I've got the seller on me. Mortgage payments didn't really stop, right? At least not right away. Bills kept coming. What do I do? So let me turn to the technology that we have. The first thing we did is like, wait. We have video of this whole house. This is a house that Lady Gaga stayed in for a while. I'm going to take that video, and I'm going to start running retargeted ads against every single person that could potentially buy this and their kids, right? You think wealthy people make decisions? Those decisions are influenced by wealthy kids. So we take YouTube videos, and then we will target wealthy kids as they're sitting there because they don't watch cable anymore, like most people, right? They're on their phone. As long as they have Wi-Fi, they're plugged in, and they're good to go. We found a buyer through that YouTube video whose 13-year-old daughter saw it and told her parents, Mom and Dad, you were looking for a place in the city. I don't know, this might be a good time to buy because it seems like New York City is dead forever and everything's on fire. They reached out to their agent. Their agent reached out to me and said, hey, I have a client who's interested. Is this still available? I'm like, the whole city's available. What are you talking about? Turn on the news, okay? Like, we're dying out here. It's like, okay, well, just wanted to make sure when things open back up, I'll try to get them in for a showing. I was like, no. If they're interested, we're going to make this happen now. It's like, well, Ryan, I'm not leaving my house. I'm like, okay, I was willing to, but okay, we've got the video. I'm going to create a 3D model for you, technology number 2. I'm going to make that happen right now. I'm going to get it over to you, and we're going to walk through your clients, and we're going to do it live over Zoom, and we'll do screen share and everything. She's like, oh, interesting. I don't know. Presented to the clients, and we did the showing that way. We walked her through. We did that. We eventually went to the house, did a reverse Zoom, FaceTime, the whole thing. They made an offer, and they bought that house for a really, really good deal at $15 million. Tech number 3 is that they cashed out cryptocurrency to purchase it. That whole deal in the early stages of COVID, to me, like lit off 15 fires in my head. Like, everything has just changed. The world has completely changed. Just like in 2008 when everyone said, maybe banks don't have it all correct. And then right now, kind of the same thing. And I've got to get in front of it. And that wasn't totally why I started my own company, but it did give me a lot of courage and confidence. Like, I was the #1 real estate broker in New York City starting in 2016. And I did that until 2020. And at the end of 2019, I decided, you know what? What am I going to do now? Like, I can't just keep being awesome. I have to be awesomer. So I am going to take on a lot of stress and a lot of pressure, and I am going to blow up my whole life and start my own company. But it's not going to be a regular real estate company. I'm going to start a real estate technology company. And I'm going to put it here at the intersection of media, real estate, and education. I'm going to have a top-of-funnel in-house film studio that creates content all day, every day. We do between 10 to 15 pieces of content a day. just real estate, just focused, just retargeted, and mass marketed all at the same time. I'm going to use that as a funnel to drive customer acquisition for two things: salespeople and people who need salespeople. Salespeople will come into the brokerage or education. Okay? We have almost 12,000 people on our education platform right now, between various course members, pro members, coaching clients, right there, right? We're in 110 countries in a very, very, very short period of time. Those agents, as we go into their territories, the best ones, can help us be our founding members for the brokerage in those areas, right? The media creates that, and then the people that need buyers and sellers, they're ready to go. We have the agents ready, and then round and round and round and round we go. And it's been 18 months and 20 days, but no one's counting, except for me, you know? But then the tech stack is what excites me the most, which is why I wanted to be here. Like, I'm super busy, just FYI. Like, I'm doing a lot of it. I still sell deals, right? I've got agents now. I've got overhead. I have 65 paid employees with like 401ks and all that shit. It's insane. It's nuts. But we're building an app that allows agents to create property tours in 16 seconds on their phone, fully edited, filtered, music, everything, and get them to their clients without having the brain damage of figuring out, okay, how am I going to text you a 3-minute video that looks like total crap? We're building our own metaverse that now I have, like, weird feelings about based on what I just saw. But it's going to be fine. I'm going to be fine. Everything's fine. Everything's going to be great. Where our agents and our course members are going to be able to scale virtual culture, right? Like, what does it mean to be a real estate agent outside of HQ? Like, you're a real estate agent for a brokerage, but you are 2 cities away. You don't go to the main office every day. So what's it mean? You just log into a website? Is that why you're an agent for that firm? No, the world is virtual. You know why? Because every year now, for the last 3 years, the average age of real estate agents has gotten younger for the first time in history. More and more people are bypassing college and getting into sales. In the United States alone, in the last 18 months, 156,000 people got licensed. The average is 39,000 a year. More and more people are deciding that they want to take control of their own lives and that they want to sell, just like all of us. It's crazy, right? But it's amazing. The better the industry is, the better it is for all of us. And one of the big reasons I'm here is because all of us, you here, me in New York, everybody else, we're no longer local agents in local markets. We are local agents with local knowledge, information, and local access in global markets. Like, what excites me so much about this platform, about NTRY, and what they've just built and, like, released into the world is, you know, a little Terminator 2 Judgment Day, but, like, for the most part, has anyone not seen that movie? They didn't laugh. Is that you no longer have to wait for people to come to Toronto. You can now bring Toronto to everyone. Like, that creates new income. That creates new potential for showings. Like, it used to be that we could show only during times, right? I've got one client, I'm seeing them for 6 hours. That's all I can do. Because it's going to take me 6 hours to hit every single sales center. Because new construction is a big part of our business. It's a big part of my business. It's a big part of the business here. From the airport to this building, which was exactly what I just did, all I saw was cranes. Wild. You guys love building new stuff. It is everywhere. Crazy. So imagine taking those 6 hours and cutting it down to 1 hour. Because now you can just log in, stream in real time on an Unreal Engine high definition platform and go to all 6 of those buildings without having to go to sales centers, without having to get the coffee, without having to wait because there was another appointment, right? Without having to drive. You're going to do it all at the same time. And your client doesn't actually have to be here. They're in Singapore because you figured out how to retarget your video ads about your personal brand as an agent to clients in Asia because they've now started to come back and buy. Or you're targeting me in New York because that flight is 50 minutes. Or you're targeting Ontario or Vancouver, right? It's crazy. Think about the things that you can do on this platform and in the future of our business. Like, the future of real estate is so insane to me, and it's so exciting. It's why I invested literally everything I have. I am all in on my new business and on the future of technology and its intersection with real estate sales, because it is finally time for our industry to be disrupted. And like these guys just figured out how to do it. And for some reason, they decided to start in Toronto and not New York City. And so I hope that the second city is New York, because like I don't want to drive anywhere, right? I don't have to wait in lines anywhere. I want to be able to find a client in any state, in any country, and be able to bring my city to them, bring my market to them. We complain about low inventory, right? We complain about, oh, there's nothing to sell, right? Like you don't have to do that anymore. And imagine being able to sell in other markets. How easy will it be now, once they go into other cities, for you to think about your life as a real estate agent in your individual market, for you to say, now I don't need to travel to go to that next city to learn about it so I can sell it. I can just stream, download, learn it this way from the comfort of my own home, looking like however I want to look, and then I'll be able to sell it right away. And then think about the future, right? This thing is 1-to-1 scale. And like they showed me this video when they came into New York, and they came in and they sat down and they were super nice and Canadian about everything. And they were like, listen, we're about to blow your socks off. It's like, okay, everyone says that. And then they showed that to me and I was like, oh my God, what is this? And then I asked them questions. I was like, yeah, but it probably doesn't do this. And they're like, oh no, yeah, it does that. Like, well, you probably didn't like put the thing in there. They're like, oh no, that thing's already in there. Like, yeah, but you didn't do it like this way because that's impossible. Like, oh no, we made it possible for the first time in the history of the universe. Like, what is happening right now? Everything I said, they're like, oh no, we did that thing. It's here for you. It's crazy. Like, I don't know if you guys all understand like the significance of this moment. What it means, not just for us as real estate agents, but also for developers. Like the developer's ability now to just render a tower while they're thinking it, like nearly in real time. Like that's something that's never been able to be done before. Or you're going to an architect's office or a designer's office, or you're waiting, right? The investment now will be super minimal and we'll be able to move forward so much faster. Like, what is the crazy thing about doing new development in real estate in our business is that we get to define the future. And that's what I've always felt has been super like passionate for me in designing a new building or designing a new block or even selling just new condos, is you're selling something that never even existed before. It's not just a resale. It's not a rehab. You're not doing a value add deal. It's a tower built into the air that's never been there before. That air has never even touched something like this before. And now you get to sell that and live there and make a commission on it and then sell it again and again and again. You get to redefine everything, and then you'll get to redefine everything here, virtually. And I know it's a little bit scary, and I know it's a little bit crazy, but that's the world. Like people were freaked out with TV when TV first came out, right? People were freaked out with CDs. People were freaked out with the internet. People were freaked out with smartphones. But what changes the world changes us for the better. And I think human nature believes in itself enough to use technology like this for good. And it's a great thing to be able to be in a room like this, for me, right now with all of you here in this amazing, amazing city that I don't think I've been back to since 2014. I came here for TIFF. I did a movie once, actually one movie ever. I moved to New York to do theater and to do film and television, and then that didn't work out, and I had to do the hand job thing, and then so I got into real estate, and then I got into a movie because I did $1 Million Listing New York, right? So I got onto a reality TV show after quitting acting, and then I got onto this thing, and then Ben Stiller reached out and said, hey, you're funny on that show. Do you want to come audition for this movie called While We're Young? And I thought it was like this total weird thing, and I thought it was totally fake, but turns out it was real. And so I did it anyway, and we went to TIFF, and I got to like walk down the green carpet, the whole thing. It was totally, totally crazy. And I love the city, and I wish I could come back even more. And it's so close. I don't know why I don't. You guys should always bring me back, maybe once a week, and I'll find all of you. And then we'll start a Serhant here, and then we will build buildings in the metaverse and in real life, right? And speaking of developers, I think a good transition here is to play the video, right? We should play the video. Winston is here. He's going to come up after. This is a great example of how a developer that you've all known for 87 years, 87,000 units, yep, can use this platform to present new product so that it's not just the whole city. What's it mean for an individual developer? What's it mean for selling individual product? So let's roll tape. Let's do it.
Well, I'm just up here again to introduce another great friend of mine, the Vice President, Sales and Marketing, Mr. Winston Chan. Give him a hand.
Wow, wow, wow. Thank you, thank you. The first order of business since my COO, Jim Ritchie, Mr. Condo is here, VP Marketing, Samson Fung is here. Allow me 10 minutes just to increase the price. Thank you so much. Thank you, NTRY. It is incredible to see the world come to life. It's really incredible. And Tridel, obviously, thank you, Ryan, for the shout out. 87 years, 87,000 home. We're very, very proud to be here to at least provide us the opportunity to participate in this start of the future. Tridel always been a leader and forefront. And as a matter of fact, we are one of the very first developer utilize the website, and then fast forward to now, you know, virtual showing, 3D, virtual tools. We have all that. With NTRY, I think provide us with another tools. This tool is not just important for us as the developer, but for you as a fellow realtor, perhaps a customer as well too. And I think it provides us a different language. And face it, like, right now, we build for current. We build for yesterday, obviously. But in the future, our customer, it's our kids. Imagine if we try to interrupt the routine and show them the brochure and try to present them the product, they may not be interested. But imagine you have a game-like environment that you'll be able to speak the language. Interestingly, those are our customer in the future. So thank you and congratulations. I think that it's really incredible tools that you bring to us as an industry. And I think what set NTRY apart, I think it's the leadership team. I also have the privilege to know a lot of our good friends. There's the leadership teams like James, obviously, the technology guru. Jason, we argue a lot, but we're still good friends. And Julian. And Simeon and all this, they're industry leaders. They are not just a technology guru. they are also part of our industry. And I think they put a lot of time and effort to put this type of incredible tools for us. And I think this will be really interesting. And I would like to learn and explore more about this platform as well, too. Thank you for letting us step into the future with you. Thank you so much.
Winston, you're the man. You know, what I want to think about for a second for all of us, because we're all in this business, how many people actually are real estate agents? Like you're selling real estate all the time? Oh, everybody. Okay. Sorry. There's been so much wealth creation in the world in the last 2 years. And it's for all of us. Look at inflation. Look at interest rates. Look at the global political situation. Where else can people put their money now? Other than alternative assets, things like cars, things like art, cryptocurrency, they're putting into real estate. It's not a new thing. It happens every cycle. People race to hard assets. It's called a flight to quality, okay? But you can target it. Right? You can get information about who's making money and target them and let them know that they need to own more real estate. Last year, 1 year ago today, so I started my business in September 2020, the worst possible time, but also the best possible time, because that's how I got the front page of the Wall Street Journal. Had things been good, had the market been strong, no one would have given a shit, right? But because everyone was having a really, really hard time, and I decided to start a new company, the Wall Street Journal was like, lunatic real estate agent from TikTok and some TV show decides to start real estate business in New York City where everyone just left. Why are you so crazy? And it worked. Because guess what? Humans move forward. Like, evolution is a real thing. We want to keep moving forward all the time. That's why we invent stuff like this. A couple months after that, I meet a guy who wants to rent something on the Upper East Side. He wants a big budget, whatever. I guess I do rentals now. I just started a business. I need money. I need to pay for bills and everything. So sure, I do rentals. Meet him up there, show him some rentals. He doesn't really like them. Have a really quick conversation about why are you staying in New York City? Do you even need to be in New York City? No, I kind of just buy internet companies on the internet. Okay, interesting, crazy. You do that anywhere. Have you thought about Florida? Florida has low taxes. Sure, send me some listings. Okay. What do you do, by the way? How do you make some money? I'm involved in cryptocurrency, investor in one of the exchanges and stuff. Cool. You must be doing pretty well. I send him a bunch of things. I'm like, what's your budget? He's like, I don't know, 10, 20, $30 million. I'm like, good budget. I send him some things. He takes a look. It's a Wednesday. He calls me Wednesday night. He's like, I want to go see some of these things. I'm like, oh, okay. Let me learn Florida real quick. When do you want to go? I have time tomorrow morning. Okay, great. Let's do it. Let me book flights. We take my plane. Or we take your plane. Okay, we take plane. I take plane. Let's take plane. Great. I spent that night. I learned the Florida market information, right? Information and access. I had access to the Florida market because everything is public, but now I need to memorize all the information. Took him to a house for fun, because I do this thing when I show buyers. I always do this thing called the wow moment. If you've read my first book, it's there, so sorry if I'm repeating myself, but the wow moment is where you really wow a buyer with something that's way over their budget, just to show them what's possible for their future self, and then you bring them back down to reality. It's a much quicker way to get them to pull the trigger. Otherwise, if you just show them what they want to see, then they're going to leave and say, oh, but there's probably more. I'm going to go back on the internet and see. And your chances of closing are so much lower. So I took him to something that was asking $140 million. Okay? Yeah, exactly. But I told him, like, this is fun. We're here. We flew down to Florida. Let's just go see it. It's $140 million. It's just like, it's fun. I got us in. Access, right? Technology. And we go in there. We walk around. His wife's looking around. Takes me upstairs. He grabs me by my shirt like this. Okay? And he throws me up against the wall. I will never forget it. I thought I was going to die. And he says, why did you bring me here? And I was like, my career's over. I just ruined everything. This guy's going to like tell all the internet companies that he buys to blacklist me for life. I'm sorry. I just thought it would be fun to see it. We're going to go to the other things. He's like, no, I want it. Like, samesies. Okay, great. But no, I couldn't say that. That's what I said in my head. But in person, I was like, no. Nope. No. I brought you here for fun. We're going to go off to the rest of the tour. I'm sorry. It's like, We get in the car. We go to the next one. It's asking $30 million. We walk in, total shit. We leave. We get in the car. He's in the back, right? We go to the next house, asking $50 million. This house was like a palace, totally insane. He walks in. He looks like he's about to vomit. Walks right out, gets back in the car. And I'm like saying hello to the listing agent. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I had COVID. I don't know. I'm sorry. We go to the next house. He looks at it. This house I thought was going to be the one. Right? It's like $40 million. I'm about to do a $40 million deal in Florida. That would be huge for my expansion into Florida, everything. He doesn't even want to go inside. I'm like, all right, I just totally blew this. Let's go back. Let's do a rental on the Upper East Side. He's like, no, go get me the first one. Like, okay, how? I know. I am the best broker in the history of the world. Yes, where would you like to start, my sir? He's like, are there comps? No, bro. There are no comps. There are no comps. It's on the market for $140 million. He's like, have you ever done a deal this size? And you know, like when people ask me that question, I always want to say, like, listen, size doesn't matter. But in that specific moment, he's like, eyes are locked in on me. I had to go with honesty and be like, it's not the size of the deal, okay? It's how you put the deal together. And then everything was real quiet for a minute. He's like, I don't understand what's happening right now. Where should we start? And I went into my confidence mode, okay? I pulled out that big money energy. It's like $118 million. That's where we're starting. It's like, do it. Write it up. I turned around. The driver, because I'm in the front seat there in the back, the driver looks at me out of the corner of his eye, and he's like, who the fuck is in the back of this car? I'm like, I don't know. I don't know what's happening. I was looking at rentals 2 days ago. Okay, let's do this. This is great. I just started my own company. All right. I'm like, okay, how do I even do a deal in Florida? Right? I don't do contracts in New York City. We have attorneys for that. Okay? I have to like write up a contract, get it written, do the whole thing. They countered a little bit below 140 because they were being nice. And by Friday at 5 o'clock, we had a signed, executed contract for just under $140 million for the most expensive sale in the history of Florida. Okay? To a person who was, you don't have to clap for that. I've done a lot more cool things. To a person who is fully invested in the future of the world using technology. And at that moment, too, I was like, holy mother of God. This guy's like not that much older than me. And if he could do that, also I was like, are you going to be applying for financing? The answer was no. Nope. By the way, we also bought 2 other houses just because he needed to have access for friends and staff and stuff. But besides the point, in that moment, it's like, okay, if the smartest person in the room with the most dollars, that's the way they're moving forward, we have to move forward the same way. Not long after that, I did an interview with CNBC, Fox News, Yahoo. I'm like, 50% of the future real estate purchases done in the next 5 years is going to be done in some way, shape, or form through or attached to cryptocurrency. And that thing went viral everywhere. My mom called me. She's like, currency's dead? What? What did you say on the TV? That's not how my mom sounds. Don't record that. That's terrible. It's like, I honestly, the world is moving faster than we ever even anticipated it was going to move. Ever. And it's insane that way. And we want to take as much advantage of it as we possibly can so that every single one of us in here aren't left behind. We are adapting, like I said. And we're adapting. We're using alternative forms of currencies. We're talking to our sellers. And in our listing pitches, we're saying, now, do you want to offer this in an alternative form of currency? Do you want to create an NFT for your house? Even if it doesn't do anything, let's keep that conversation going. Because we're the ones that change the landscape. Like, no pun intended, but actually pun intended. Like, we're the ones that define neighborhoods. We're the ones that define comps. We're the ones that define who lives where. because of your relationship with that agent, and you owe her because she got you over here, and now you're putting that family instead of that other family into that house, even though their offer wasn't the highest. But the real estate agent industry is the strongest industry in the world because we all need one another to do deals. We need each other for income. Doctors don't necessarily need other doctors, right? Someone comes in with a gunshot wound, the doctor's going to fix the patient. They're not going to say, hold on, let me call up the 10 best doctors. Let me talk to them first and see if we can do this. No, they get right to work. I need all of you the same way you need everyone else in this room. That's why these events are great to do. And that's what's going to propel us forward. And NTRY understands that more than any other real estate technology firm I have ever met, because they're already moving forward, not just with creating the first metaverse for real estate that's at a one-to-one scale and is so lifelike, it's insane, and it's going to make our job so much easier, but they're also creating a cryptocurrency, okay, that I think is going to be ready by the end of the year, right? So that, imagine doing deposits in this world. Like, that's a real thing for developers and for all of us. How do you keep it a one-to-one system with a single sign-on? The issue with platforms like this over the last 20 years is, one, they didn't look like this. They didn't have the utility like this, but it was still like, okay, great. I saw it in a different way. Now I got to go see it in real life. Now I got to sign a contract. Now I got to do this. Imagine signing the NFT to own the property, putting the deposit down through crypto, and doing it all in an hour, all in one platform, while your client is also clicking around and redesigning the entire apartment and picking all their finishes at the same exact time. That's not just the future. That's what's going to happen. And so we can embrace it and make it part of our businesses and part of our brands, that we embrace the future, or we don't. And the 17-year-old who's in their Oculus right now, who's going to get into real estate instead of going to college, who's going to do that for you, that person's going to win. That person is going to get business. Okay? That's why I'm so focused on education as the add-on into building my company, because the agents that train, the agents that learn, the agents that want to know more about the future, the ones who are going to be the most successful, not just the ones with information anymore. I'm not from New York. I sell almost more real estate than anyone, ever. 5 hours ago, I put together a deal for $70 million in Tribeca. Didn't faze me one bit. Because I sell a lot, and not because of information, but because I now have access and I have different platforms that I can use to sell more than anybody else. I'm doing deals right now in Wyoming. I'm about to sell a 6,000-acre ranch in Texas I've never even seen. Think about the future and think about growth, not just for your clients and for your businesses and your brands, but also for income. How can you make more money selling more real estate to more people all over the world? And for any client you ever have that wants a place in New York, you're going to call Ryan Serhant. Okay? And they're also creating NFTs. I mentioned that a little bit, but I think it's important to know. Like, there will be NFT real estate. Imagine a world where, one, you can have a virtual home that doesn't exist in the real world, and you own that home as an NFT. You're creating the value, you're selling it, you're trading it. But also imagine a one-to-one scale of your apartment. You own it in real life in Toronto, and then you also own it in the virtual world. Creating more value, I mean, it's just what's going to happen. And so I am super excited to be here. I think we're going to have a lot of fun. I'm supposed to drink now. I've been told that that's part of the deal. So I'm ready. I brought my drinking suit. And so we're going to go out there drinking plus popcorn, I guess. I got my video. Actually, Diego, where's Diego? Diego, come here. Diego's part of my studios team. Can we do something really quick? Can we take a photo? Maybe can everyone stand up? If you can. Hello. Okay, what should I do? Can you see everybody? Do you need to jump? Okay. Me? No, okay. So, everybody, like, put your hands in the air, and then we'll all say, like, NTRY. Okay? Ready?
Okay, ready?
Am I really jumping?
Yeah.
Okay.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
NTRY!
Okay, wait, one more time.
Oh,
Vertical.
my
So
God.
Instagram. It's an Instagram world.
Okay.
Ready?
Ready? 1, 2, 3. NTRY!
Perfect.
Did you get it?
Yes, I got it.
Okay, so to really round us out, I'm going to bring up my man over here, my doppelganger in the mirror. He walked in and I was like, holy mother of God.
We look the same, don't we?
And we will
Look
all
at us.
hang out
Look at
right
us.
after.
We totally look the same. Awesome. Thanks a lot, guys. Ryan, amazing job. Thank you so much for being here tonight. Thank you, Winston. I really appreciate it. And thank you all for coming out here tonight. We really appreciate it. It's been an amazing night. Hey, we're not done yet. Ryan's right. There's popcorn. There's tequila out there. There's drinks. There's also a couple of tables out there that's going to show you some information about what we just talked about. We created a founders package with 200 spots in it for a limited time. If you're interested, go check out the tables. There's a couple of people out there. I think Salman, I think Kevin, I think a couple of guys are out there on the table, and gals. They're gonna talk to you, give you some information. And yeah, I'm just really appreciative. I really am thankful that you all came out. I'm going to give lots of hugs out there, so try and stay away from me. And have an amazing rest of your evening. Thank you so much.